live, I'll do that
Takes
little.
a little bit.
Yeah. I'll put that little
Yeah.
countdown, that countdown placeholder while all the sites start connecting. Then once they connect, I'll switch it over, and then everybody can see. And anybody watching that can hear this right now, yes, this is Cyberpunk Uncensored. Aside from streaming the official Red rules, we're starting up with the Red JUMPSTART rules and starting a whole campaign with that with GM Teddy Bearns. So yeah,
How you
this is
doing?
this is something new we're going to be doing here. Hopefully everybody enjoys it. Yeah, we're about 10 seconds out. Here we go.
Just to clarify, are you staying with us, Rob, or
No. They'll only be able to see you guys. I'm going to start
all right?
promoting. But yeah, there you go. Everybody can see you guys. You
Awesome.
guys are live.
How you doing? Teddy B in the house. And yeah, I'm Scottish, by the way. I like to do my little characters, and so my real name is Ronan, but Teddy B, Teddy Bearns. That's just a character, I like to be known as Teddy Bearns, and that was a thing we started in D&D with my buddies. But yeah, session 0. So what's our experience level with Cyberpunk? Like, would anyone like to start us off, like, just with our experience with just playing the game or tabletop in general? Well,
Yeah,
let's
so
say Steve. Yeah.
I started off playing Cyberpunk years ago, back when it was the original one, Cyberpunk 2013. Not played it for quite a long time, but I do quite a bit of work now around the Cyberpunk scene, kind of working with sound effects and so forth. So I know a fair bit about Red. I'm really excited about when this actually launches.
Awesome. Renegade, do you want to add
Well,
anything?
I've been playing role-playing games for a very long time. Started when I was like years. Cyberpunk started when I was in the army. It was like 93, but then for a long time I didn't have a group of play Cyberpunk with until like about 10 years ago, when a few friends of mine and me started playing, and we were changing between GURPS and Cyberpunk. So I did love it before. I loved it back then, and now I'm absolutely hyped for Cyberpunk Red for the core rules and Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah, man, I'm complete same. Well, actually, I don't know if you know this, but so they did a podcast. Rob did a podcast recently, and they're pretty much going to be done this week with Cyberpunk Red. Like, they're pretty much going to be done, but we don't know when we're getting our hands on it. So but it's going to be done. It's going to be sitting there, and yeah, I'm excited for it. I mean, if we get a chance to play core rules, I'm all for it. Yeah, I got other group as well, my buddies. So, but I would love to do, if you want to stick around, if anyone wants to stick around with this after the one shot, I would love to at least try if it comes out before 2077, because I'm going to be working mid-October. I'll be trying to take time off for Cyberpunk when that comes out, the video game.
I've got like 2 weeks off when it comes out.
2 weeks off, yeah. I mean, I can't set my own hours right now. Hopefully mid-October. I'll explain my job maybe later. But yeah, the video game's going to take all my time. This is the game I've been waiting for, and maybe for you as well. So, but anyway, so who do we have? So Drakemere, which one's Drakemere again?
It's me.
Talk about. Yeah, Drake, would you like to explain anything? Your experience, just tabletop in general. I just like to get an idea.
I started in the beginning of the 90s playing tabletop games. Cyberpunk, I mostly played 2 Swedish types of Cyberpunk RPGs. And at the moment I'm getting my bachelor's in game design, and I'm actually writing on a Cyberpunk game called Mousepunk. So
nice. Yeah. I think you mentioned that. Yeah.
Yep.
That's interesting. That's very interesting. All you guys are very experienced. I only started tabletop last year, and
okay.
I've only played like actually played, I've only done like 3 sessions, and I've GM'd 12 sessions. I want to say, like 12 in total. So, and that's D&D and Cyberpunk. I've done 6 of Cyberpunk. I just finished on my YouTube. I got the my latest one shot that I'm doing, and this is the one shot that you guys might be doing. Depending on what you want to do, and we'll get to that conclusion maybe. Well, hopefully it's session 0. But so the final guy. So we got. Now, I don't know if I'm gonna pronounce this right. It says Dar Seabar. I don't know if I'll pronounce that right.
That's Der Seebär.
Dar Seabar.
Yeah, it's German for fur seal. Little wordplay.
I see.
Yeah, real name Sebastian. In-game name Dozer, and yeah, I'm actually quite new to the Cyberpunk world myself too. Never played the Cyberpunk round tabletop before. I stumbled across Cyberpunk 2020 some years ago. Got my hands on a copy of the rulebook. Was pretty amazed. I got some sessions of D&D before, so I was a little bit experienced with the whole tabletop thing, but none with Cyberpunk. And then when I read that there was a rehaul with Cyberpunk Red coming out somewhere soon, I was pretty amazed, and yeah, went looking for a group and found you guys.
That's awesome. Yeah, Cyberpunk. Well, I'm a Zoomer. I don't have depression, by the way. That's what people assume when I say I'm a Zoomer. Don't worry, we don't all have depression. But yeah, I'm 23, so I'm, as a GM, I suppose I'm sort of young. And so I guess it would be kind of strange for you guys. I'm not sure, because I know a lot of you guys are experienced, but just know I love Cyberpunk. I read the Jumpstart kit, and I love it. I love everything I read in it. Well, all I could read. The rules are very limited. So, that's just something we're going to have to work. There'll be like cover in the game. So like if you've played it, or if you play 2020, it's going to be, there'll be stuff like cover. You'd be like, oh, I'm going to get into cover, and, I'm going to try and shoot the guy or whatever, popping in and out of cover. It doesn't work like that, really, unless you homebrew it. So, like, cover isn't really a thing. It's really hard to work with the combat, the gunplay in the game. So, I've actually got a one-shot right now where it's in the UK. Guns are very strict in the game. So, melee works just fine. But when it comes to, like, if someone gets a gun, that's where it gets a little complicated, because you can't, like, you can aim for the head, you can't aim for certain body parts. So that's the kind of thing we're going to have to, when we play the game, there's not going to be a lot of, oh, can I aim for the leg, that kind of thing. I mean, we can just, if you kill the guy, I say, right, this is how you kill him, or you say how you kill him, kind of deal. But yeah, that's the problem with the Jumpstart right now. But, once we get core rules, it's going to be a lot more exciting. I'm going to be reading the whole thing. I have all my notes in. And I'm just really excited for that. I'll have everything. I like to put everything in Roll20, right? So I'll have, not right now, or at least it shouldn't be on there right now. But so what I like to do, I like to put all the rules on Roll20. So like you could just click. So it'll be on the top right on the journal. You just click on it. It's got each picture. So it'll be like the skills you need to use. If you're a net runner, the net runner stuff you have to do. And it's pretty simple. I like to keep everything in the game, so you don't have to go, all the character sheets are in the game. You don't have to go on another website like I did before in my buddies. So I played enough that everything, I like to have everything in the one place. So you don't have to worry about any of that stuff. So, but yeah, so that's the introductions out of the way. So let's say characters. So we'll go into how you all meet. But if you'd like to talk about your characters and kind of how they fit into Cyberpunk. So I know we got 2 nomads. Honestly, I can't remember what the other 2 were. But let's say Steve again.
It was the how you called it, Rocker Boy Daredevil.
It's Rocker Boy, yeah. Rocker Boy Daredevil, yeah. I remember that discussion. Sorry, I can't believe I forgot about it. Yeah, that was an interesting discussion I had with you. But yeah, we'll go into like initiative. We'll go Steve again. If you'd like to talk about your character a little bit, I believe you're one of the nomads in the game. So you'd like to
that's
walk
right.
us through, yeah.
So I'm playing Connor McDade, or Dade as he's known by his friends. He's quite an older chap, actually. He's in his 50s, and he was part of the Nomad families for years. Kind of eventually found his way into Night City and got working with some of the gangs here in the city, where he's worked for quite a few years as an enforcer. But he's finally got enough kind of EBs and reputation that he's managed to retire from that. And he's now finally trying to settle down and just kind of live a quiet life, putting his past behind him. Of course, that's not going to happen, I'm sure. But that's his goal for now, is to try to just sit back and relax a little bit now.
Yeah, see, I like this because it's a jumpstart kill, obviously, and you have a lot of skills. So there's, it's hard to start like a new character in the jumpstart, at least, because you've got all these skills. Now, of course, we can get rid of them and say you're new guys and stuff, but it wouldn't make any sense. See, so for my one shot, we're all kind of new guys. They don't have a lot of skills, but for this, we're not going to be doing a lot of homebrew. I want to be as vanilla as possible to jumpstart. And it makes sense that you're retired and you've got this career that was behind you, and maybe you want to do something new, or there's a lot of potential there for you as a character. It's almost like an epilogue. Maybe something happens. Who knows? We're kind of approaching maybe the end days. Who knows? Or it's just another adventure. But you're skilled in your abilities, and it wouldn't make sense if you're just this new guy off the block. You got like tracking skills. You got maybe even Mike, because I believe Mike class might be a thing as well. You're in all this, even your career, like you're making all this money, maybe, or you just quit your job or whatever. You're looking for work. It just wouldn't make sense, in terms of the jump start. Oh, you've got all these skills, like I'm OP, it just doesn't make any sense. So, but that's why I like your character, and that's why I probably should have said, if you're gonna make a character, you're probably approaching the end of that character's arc, or at least you've done a lot before in another role or a job, and you're kind of getting something new. So you're going to be experiencing some way or another. So that's just the point I want to get across. And we're going to talk about that for how your characters meet. And I'm going to talk like in private, like if maybe your character is something you want to discuss, like how he gets to a certain point, that's fine. I like discussing those things. So, how your character obtains something. I kind of had discussions with that with one of you guys about, how you obtain a certain item or whatever, because you've got this, I think it was the Rocker Boy character. Maybe you got this, camera system. We'll discuss about that later on. But so who we got? So that was Steve first. So I want to do in like a rotation. So. Who was it? Who's the second guy? Was it Drakemere?
I was.
Oh, you the second guy? Okay.
I think I was. I'm not sure, but I think
Renegade.
I was. Yeah. Well, I'm Renegade. I am actually a German immigrant to Night City. That was when we set to. For instances when there should be language issues, what I don't think.
Yeah.
But okay. Actually, he's a polyathlete who specialized in things like free running, free climbing, base jumping, and hoverboarding, but doing music too. And he is actually streaming with a team of his friends from his Lifepath. His journeys while he is parkouring free climbing, base jumping, and all those things. Yeah, and I think that was about it. What we had till now.
Yeah, I actually discussed that with you, and I thought it was interesting. And we kind of came to the. So this is just an example that we came to a conclusion with, sort of. So the media's in red, from what we know, are they can be streamers, they can be influencers, like social media guys, and so I would presume here that they would be very good at setting up this equipment. And so since you're a rocker boy, so it's Roth in your character. Is that right for you? Is it?
Renegade is the
It's
character.
Renegade's
Roth
your
is
character. Okay. So yeah,
Is my name.
for reference, yeah. So
I don't mind-
Renegade's your character.
I don't mind taking that as a character name either. I did that
Right.
while
Well,
I was.
we'll clarify that for the next session. We want it, we want
Okay.
it to be right. We want it to be canon, yeah. Yeah, we came to the conclusion that we'd be using so like you may have a media friend that set it up for you, because I like this whole thing about connecting all the dots. Maybe who knows? You got
Perfect.
friends who've helped you out, like during your journey as a daredevil kind of thing, and
Yeah.
maybe that connects. Maybe that could be something that could pop up. Who knows? I don't want to spoil anything. That this could be something that could happen in the one shot. Who knows? Maybe you could have that in your contact list. So here's another thing I like to do, and this is what I've started doing in my one shot. So I'll have like a contact list of just old padres you've met in the past, or your friends. And if they're relevant, if they're still alive, maybe they're still in Night City, I'll have them like in a contact list. Maybe you want to talk to this individual, and I have to know more about this individual, unless you want me to just go, hey, just do whatever, this is the background on this character, whatever. But yeah, we'll move on to so it was it Drakemere now?
Yep,
Number 3.
it was me.
So just discuss.
Yeah, I'm Blue Jay. He stopped using his real name since he was a low level tech at one of the corps, and that's what I thought anyway. And he ended up getting blamed for information leak that he wasn't behind, and that burned him in the eyes of many corps. So he switched identity and became Blue Jay, and opened a little shop down by the little guys where ordinary people, the ones that don't have much money, run around. And he's been for years now fixing people's basic tech and cyber tech, and going home visits to fix stuff. And that's how he's been surviving with his skill set.
Yeah, that sounds very cyberpunk. I like the he's sort of, someone might be behind the scenes, he's something bad happening in a corporation kind of deal, and he's trying to get away. I like that. That's very cyberpunk to me. Yeah, it's very interesting character. So the character was a tech.
Yeah.
Okay, tech. So I haven't looked into all the sheets yet. I've looked at 2 of them. But yeah, that's sounds very cyberpunk to me. So here's another thing. So as we go around, I like to sort of say what I've been doing and how this could all work. So we're doing, my one shot's very corporate centered. And with that can come, betrayal, and someone's behind the scenes. Like, who knows? Maybe they're not. That's the fun of cyberpunk. And so, if we'll come to a conclusion at the end, as I said, but that we could work with this. This could be something that could tie in the one shot. Maybe his old friends, his co-workers. Maybe there's going to be some sort of plot happening. Who knows? This is very exciting to me. I like to explore a lot. For this one shot at least, I would like to explore a lot of what makes cyberpunk with the high-tech, low-life elements. This is but yeah, I love corporations personally. I like exploring all that. I like the boring stuff in Cyberpunk personally. So like, when I mean boring stuff, I like, the sort of the dread, maybe I'm gonna get fired. Maybe this guy's gonna come after me. I didn't do so well. As an example, I got a player he's working as a stockbroker, and their character is sort of pressured almost into taking drugs to enhance their performance. And this is kind of like a whole thing where it's like, should I do it? It's going to enhance my performance, but maybe I'm going to get addicted. There's going to be like sort of elements in there. And then they didn't really do so well. Like they're trying to carry out this deal that didn't go well, and there was like a role and they failed it. And it's like, oh, is this gonna be some backlash here? Is there gonna be something biting me in the ass now? Is my boss gonna come after my job? Like, so there's all these things I like when it comes to corporations and stuff. So that's very cool. So that's another side we can explore possibly, and that's something I would love to explore. But man, I'm gonna butcher this name. Dasiber, I can't pronounce it, man. I shouldn't. What was your character's name? We could call you by your character's name. I think it would be easier,
sure.
so I don't embarrass you.
No problem. Character's name is Dozer. Also nomad. Also used to live with a nomad family out there doing like delivery runs between the cities in the time of the Red, and recently parted ways with them after a kind of ugly encounter with another gang, and some background to that. And yeah, he's now pretty new to Night City, the only place he knew to go, and kind of been doing low-level stuff, just mostly getting things from A to B, like delivery jobs, and just trying to stay afloat somehow. And now he's looking to basically kind of get life, get a foothold, some friends, maybe stable income, anything to kind of get off the street.
Yeah. So we've obviously got two nomads in the group, and that's something that I'm very interested in personally. As someone if you're gonna play the video game, I'm going nomad. I don't know about you guys. That's something I'll ask after this. But yeah, two nomads. So the only thing I really know about nomads from what I've read so I've obviously read Jumpstart. I've read a bit 2020, but I have read the 2077. I don't know if you know the art book. You know the world book. Yeah, so I've read that book. So I'm obviously there's been the trailers for the Night City Wire. Oh, you got the book. That's awesome. My book's on the table. I have to get up and get it. But yeah,
mine's in the post. I can't wait.
Yeah. So all I know about the nomads is in terms of the factions. So you got, I think it's the Aldecados, is like that's sort of the sort of, I don't want to say good faction. I mean, I want to say it because compared to I think it's the Aldecados. I hope that's right. There's the race.
They were the ones who helped very much to build up Night City again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So that's a very important thing because in Red, the time of the Red, they do a lot of the sort of heavy lifting in between Night City, and they sort of, again, this is something I hope they expand. I mean, I'm sure they are in the actual core book, because I'm going to be all over that, sort of making my notes. But yeah, so they're very important. Nomads are, so this is why I'm happy we've got two nomads, at least one nomad, because this is another element that's not just Cyberpunk, but it's Cyberpunk Red. So you got these nomads coming in, they're in and out Night City, and what are they doing exactly? Well, they could be rebuilding, could be supplying tools or whatever, building materials. So that's something that I myself are like, well, what are they doing exactly? I mean, they could be doing a lot of things, and that's something we come to a conclusion to. So it's interesting, but we've also got the race. So the race is something that I am kind of excited about. This is something I was trying to get, because I had a campaign for this before, and I got in about 5 sessions in. I didn't introduce the race, so that was something that what could they be doing? You know, these guys are kind of like highwaymen. These guys are like blocking the roads and you know, they could be anything. I mean, the race could just be coming in as a gang, and you know, especially if you're nomads, you'd probably hate the race, or maybe you're part of the race. Who knows? But the race in general, they're kind of like the outcasts. So I presume they're kind of, maybe they were part of the Aldecados and they broke away from them. I don't know. Personally, like, I don't know enough. All I know is that the race, they're the outcasts. They're the guys that are not the nice nomads. They're the bad nomads. If we're, you know, in baby terms, right? Good and bad with Aldecados and all that. So yeah, nomads is something that I've got a friend playing a nomad, and he's in the UK. We're playing in the we're being meta here. We're setting in Edinburgh, so that I used to live in Edinburgh. But all my mates live in Edinburgh, so and the core, or not the core, but the 2020 the UK, the rough guide to the UK. They've got this this thing, but I think it's 47% of the population is a nomad. So he's a pagan. So in the UK, they've got the, you know, the pagan. You know, the religion is basically, it's come back. It's made a comeback, and a lot of these nomads are pagans. So we've had this whole culture thing coming on, and in the game that's sort of express, and they pray and whatnot. They've got like multiple gods and stuff. So that's something I love to explore. I don't know how it's going to be with you guys if you're going to be into paganism. Your character could come from the UK, but I know your character's probably from Germany and whatnot. So I like to keep things meta. That's something I like to do because it's easier to role play. So if you're not a big role player, I've got a friend who's not big into role playing, and essentially I just said, right, you're all from Edinburgh. You know, you are where you're from. Got an American player. You came from America. You came from New York. You're in Edinburgh now. You're visiting your buddies, your online buddies. So I kept it meta, and that's worked. All I know is that it works, at least for me. So, yeah, keeping things meta if you're not sure, because I like to role play. I'm big into role playing, but that's just a tip for you if you're struggling, maybe. But you've probably got more experience than me. Let's be honest. So. But from a role playing aspect, yeah, that's something that I like to explore. Keeping things meta. So we've got your characters. So just to be sure, we all know. So we all got a good idea of who we're all playing. So we could I guess we can discuss how these characters meet, and this might be a little complicated. We've got two nomads, so. I like the idea of Steve. I like the idea of Steve, like, sort of, I don't know, maybe coming across these characters, or maybe the other nomad as well. Again, this is something that may need more discussion, obviously, and but yeah, I like the idea. Maybe Steve, he could come across maybe or perhaps he watches a stream of the of Renegade or something. That's going to be kind of hard to sort of, because there's a lot of variables at play here. But yeah, we could talk about how we can play this game. And so are we all in Roll20 right now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just did.
All right. I just want to look at your profiles. So we got the Dozer. Yep. I'm just having a look at your character sheets right now, just so I get an idea of our skills and our cyberware, our gear. So it's got Blue Jay. All right, so it looks like we're all good to go. That's nice.
I have a thought about how I can know most of you, because I
Oh,
could.
you've got that.
For you.
That's if you've got yeah, that sounds good. If you can express that if you like.
Yeah, I could have fixed stuff for you when we are met, and I just don't. I not only credits. I take junk stuff for spare parts and so on. So I'm a. You pay
Yeah.
what you can, and that would work with the nomads too.
Th-
Knowing that.
That would work well for me because I'm a nomad. Obviously, I've got my car, but I don't really have any tech skills for fixing or repairing my vehicle. So having a good tech would make good sense.
Yeah, that sounds perfect. That sounds very good. I mean, I don't know if would that be the same for your character, for the other nomad? I forgot your name again, man. Sorry.
Yeah, sure.
The character.
Character.
Oh, Dozer.
Dozer, yeah. Yeah, that could work.
Yeah, I mean, it would obviously be nice if if we all maybe I like this idea of Steve and Drake. Me, I like this idea of them. So they got maybe this partnership, maybe of him fixing his stuff. I like this idea because not every nomad's maybe good at mechanic stuff, but they're obviously a lot of them drive because maybe they have to. But yeah, I like this idea. This sounds very good. What do you think for Renegade?
What I thought.
Yeah.
What I thought when you said, well, let's see how we could meet, how the characters could have met. It was exactly that. Well, we've got a tech there, and I'm a guy who likes to try things. So it might be that I got to know him somehow, and it's like I sometimes come to him telling him, "Hey, look what I found here. Bike, can you fix it?" And all those things. And
Right, yeah.
if I'm around somewhere and I find something that I think he might useful, I'll just get that stuff to him too, to tell him, hey, here, can use that.
Yeah,
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. Is this a sort of so is this like a previous friendship, or is this like a professional relationship kind of deal that's going on between you two? Because that could work. I mean,
Yeah,
'cause
that
we
sounds really good.
Yeah. Yeah. So that sounds pretty interesting, actually. So, because we don't have to all be friends. Maybe something happens in the one shot, and it's like, oh, you kind of, a sense of urgency happens, and you're kind of forced to come close or whatever. But I like this idea of professional relationships. It's very, very cyberpunk, I suppose. But yeah, that sounds pretty good to me. But would you say the nomad and so I presume the tech here, he could be kind of higher up, let's say. I mean, he could be someone a lot of people rely on. Not like a fixer, like, he is a fixer, I suppose, but like a fixer, as in the role fixer. A fixer, a lot of people are going to rely on a fixer to do a lot of things. And especially if it's in a local area, Night City or whatever. I got a fixer in my game. He's sort of secretive, but he's got his contacts for like a drug trade. So a lot of people rely on him, and if he's not there, that's going to screw everything up. But in a tech sense, maybe this guy, because he was in a corporation, maybe he's higher up. He's got all these contacts. I kind of like this idea. Again, this is something that we can expand upon. I doubt we're going to get into all of this in session 0. But yeah, of course, this is something that we'll discuss maybe privately in the group chat. And but yeah, this is quite interesting. I like the idea of the tech anyway being higher up, and he's obviously skilled in what he does. But yeah, we'll come to that, and maybe he's got his demons in the past that is going to catch up. So this is sounding very tech centric right now, and I like it in terms of his context. So again,
he's supposed to be a tinkerer and so on, and what I love with the Renegades idea that he and I are. He comes with stuff he wants to try out, and I try my best to make him happen.
Yeah, that sounds perfect, actually. Yeah, that does sound very good. So yeah, because Renegade's character, obviously, he's a streamer. I'm presuming he's streaming right now when he does his Daredevil stuff. So he's gonna rely on you to sort of fix his stuff. So I do like this idea. Yeah. So Dozer. So for Dozer sort of coming into play here, do you think Dozer is going to know Steve's character, would you say, or is this going to be maybe Dozer could be new to the group and he sort of encounters, he's just a new kid on the block or whatever, or maybe they're doing a deal somewhere. Maybe they're gonna. I don't know what line of work Dozer's in, but maybe he's on a job and he sort of encounters these people. I don't know. Maybe they're part of the same clan. Who knows? But this is something, again, we don't need to come to a conclusion to right now. This is just me spitting ideas. But let's just get your brain working as well. Just sort of, okay, this could work kind of deal. But,
yeah, I kind of imagine could be some one of the delivery jobs, like delivering something to you or from you to customer. I come across you. And like getting some of my stuff fixed on the way and kind of relying on that because I don't know anyone around, and having a person I can rely on that my stuff gets fixed, it's pretty valuable, especially for Nomad that heavily relies on his car.
So you're like your traditional Nomad, like you're really on your own, but you've got this tech guy. Maybe in the one shot, maybe it's your first time getting something fixed. Or maybe this guy, because it would be kind of like if everyone knows the tech, or maybe you're just getting introduced to the tech and you're getting something fixed. I kind of like that idea. Again, just spitting ideas, but that does sound interesting.
Otherwise, I can actually be using him from now, sometimes sending stuff. And I know he's reliable, so I tend to send, if I can't get to Renegade's next stunt and I'm running late with his stuff, I get him to get the stuff over there so he has met Renegade but not know him.
Yeah, because if Dozer is still an active nomad and travelling around, he'd be great for getting new supplies and hard to get parts and machinery as well for your work.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does sound good. I like so you have a professional relationship with the nomad, and maybe so you could actually be working for him, sort of deal. Or, yeah, I do like this idea. This is it's all coming together now a little bit. So,
and
yeah,
and in that way, Dozer doesn't just know me; he knows Renegade a bit, or have met him a few times, and that makes a connection between another one.
Yeah. So basically, I like that. So the tech characters, he's kind of bringing everyone together almost with his what he's doing. So I quite like this idea. As for, so yeah, I think we've got enough here to sort of move on. But yeah, this is something we'll discuss a bit further on if need be. If you want to chat to me about it, that's fine. Or if you want to message me, we'll bring it together, because I would like to. Again, it doesn't matter if you know each other for so long or whatever, but yeah, just to get a background, like you know each other, because we're not, because I like the idea of like someone's new to the group, but at the same time, a lot of you are kind of knowing each other, so it kind of makes sense. Maybe you all know each other for professional or your friends or whatever. But it sounds like very professional, sort of your group of professionals, like doing your own gigs, and so again, very cyberpunk. So what was I going to move on to? I was going to say about just a little fun thing about the video game. Was what do we know what we're going in the video game? 2077. What's our starting? What's our life path going to be? Just as a little fun thing. So we'll start with Steve. Yeah, I'm going to assume Nomad or someone else.
Possibly Nomad. I'm one of these people that has multiple ideas for characters, and even right up until a game, I'm changing what I want to be all the time. So when the computer game comes out, Nomad is definitely a possibility. Also, I quite like the idea of going down tech. I tend to always play kind of like rogues and thieves and sneaky characters in games, especially when I'm playing computer games. So anything kind of fitting around that actually sounds pretty good for me.
Yeah, I'm the same. Well, I'm gonna go Nomad first because I like the idea of driving into Night City. It's just there's just that feeling about that, like because there's obviously there's like a checkpoint. I'm assuming in 27 somewhere it's like, oh, how do you get through this? Or are we just gonna go guns blazing through it? But I like the sort of the desert setting. I like the California desert, so I'll be driving around in that before I get tonight. Something to look forward to for me, at least. This is like the perfect, for personally, my favorite sort of way to start just a game in general. Um, but yeah, and my second playthrough, I'm playing on a corporate playthrough just because I like the corporate elements of the game and I want to be sort of. I like the sense of dread, as I said, when you're in like if you're gonna get fired or whatever, because they got so much power over you. Because it's gonna be Arasaka as well. And Arasaka, by the way, if you've read the book, they've only been there or they've returned for about 7-8 years. So this is like very interesting. What are they planning exactly in Night City? They've just come back. They helped with there's the metal wars that happened just only like 7-8 years ago, and they're back now. So like they've got this whole they control the docks. I believe it's at northwest. There's like these docks. I can't remember the name of the
They
docks,
even
but
have, they even have a new tower, a new
yeah, they got
Arasaka tower.
Oh wow.
like a new tower in the city center, or do you mean like the waterfront? Because they control the waterfront. I
think it
guess
said
you know what I mean. Oh, and the city. So they've reestablished the tower that was destroyed in I think it was 2023 was when the Johnny Silva and all that. Again, I didn't play 2020. I know about the events that happened. Are we all aware of the 2020? So what happened with the time of the Red? Like what actually transpired? Because
Yep.
this is something this is something I'll go through in the one shot. It's going to be a traditional open kind of thing. I'm going to explain like this is what happened in time of the Red. I know some of you played 2020, so that's something. It's because I don't know if everyone's all played Red yet, so that's something we'll go through anyway. But so Drakemere, just for fun, who you planning on going when you jump
I
into 2077?
I probably will play multiple characters at the same time if I can. Do multiple games, checking different choices and different paths and so on. That tends to be my go-to. I did it the Mass Effect series, and I probably will do it with Cyberpunk 2077 because as a aspiring game designer, I love analyzing and fiddling, and I love experiencing as much as possible. So it would be nicer for me to actually do several characters at the same time, so I can choose different options. And I tend to be able to keep the storylines separate, so it will be fun doing them differently, getting all the impulses out, being bad or good or corporate or nomad, and that really choose an archetype for my character and stick to it. And if I feel like the next day play another archetype, I will have that in another character, and I load up that instead.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same. I want to do everything. That's something I want to know in the video game is our life paths is that gonna be a big impact? Like I want my nomad to feel like he's got this, whole group of nomads behind him. Like, just like in the 2020 book, you can call nomads to help you kind of thing. I don't know if it's gonna be the same thing, but I hope the life paths make a sort of a big effect, at least if you choose it to be that way. Maybe they got quests that you do and that sort of impacts the story a little bit. That's something I want to know. So, but yeah, that again, you want to play everything. That's probably going to be me. I'll probably do a Street Kid, a third playthrough. but obviously you got the whole like the tech trees and all. They got this tree system, so there's so many variables like in this game. It's really cool. But so Dozer, again, just for fun, do we know who we're going as soon as we get the video game, or are we still thinking on that?
I have no idea. I'm totally torn about this. I mean, all choices are really interesting, and I definitely plan on more than one playthrough just to see some different sides, and I have no idea where I should start.
Yeah. Yeah, I was the same, but as soon as I found out that you could go a nomad, and what you'd be doing, like driving up, that just really appealed to me. I guess I'm just a fan of California. I love deserts. I used to live in I used to live in Dubai actually, and I used to go camping out the. This was a long time ago. I used to go camping in the dunes, like on the sand dunes, and I don't know. I got this fascination with all. I know California is a bit different with their deserts. You know, I don't suppose they have a lot of sand dunes, and it's but I don't know. I just like living out, camping in the desert. You know, I've been in caravans before. Like I used to travel a lot, and yeah, it's just something that interests me personally. So, but yeah, but when the game comes out, I'm presuming everyone's going to play the video game. I've got it pre-ordered. I'm very excited for it, man. Very excited. But so yeah, oh yeah. So the important point, and this is exciting for this session. The very important thing we have to sort of come to a conclusion to, or at least explore, is what we're going to be doing in this one shot. And obviously, I've got a couple ideas here. I didn't send over the. I did the session kind of late. It got uploaded yesterday. So I was doing a life simulator. So basically, it's like it's a business life sim sort of thing that's happening, and it was all set in Edinburgh, and basically it's a week long. It's not right. It's going to be a week long. It's probably going to be 2-3 sessions. They did one session that lasted about 3 hours, and it was only so they did day 0 and day 1. That's it, right? I thought they would do up to day 4. See, I always underestimate, because I had 4 players this time. I had 3 before. How much role playing they're going to be doing, like what they're going to be talking about, discussing. I don't take that into account. And I think this is a good thing, because it means that I always go, oh, hey, I thought it was going to be 2 sessions. Here's another session, right? Let's, we're not done yet. So, yeah, role playing is great between characters. It really helps, it lets me sit back and just sort of like, oh, this is fun, But yeah, so my life sim idea, it's very simple. Again, this is me just giving you my idea for what I have planned, and this is what I want to do for the campaign. Again, are we going to do the campaign? Possibly. Again, it depends on my schedule. It depends when Core comes out, because when Core comes out, I'm doing everything, right? I'm just analyzing it, getting my notes up, and I'm going to do like the whole day. I'm taking the whole day doing that, and that's going to be exciting for me. But so for the life sim, everyone's going to have like a sort of starting set of cash. And I like the idea of the tech maybe having a bit more or whatever. It's good when it's unbalanced, right? It's good when someone has a lot more money. And that's kind of what I've established in my one shot. And everyone else is sort of working for it maybe, or they've got almost the same amount. But there's always going to be that rich boy in the game. And it's kind of like, oh, are you going to buy drinks for me? Like kind of deal. So, yeah, so the idea of it, though, and how it's worked for us is that you can go anywhere you want. I have this little map, and mine's is in Edinburgh. I don't know if we want to do in Edinburgh, right? It's probably going to be Night City, let's be real. But what they're trying to do is getting to Night City. So they're working from Edinburgh, trying to get to Night City. But for us, we're all in Night City area. So we could have this sort of little area. So what I like to do is I like to point things out in the map. So Charter Hill. So do we know Charter? I know one or two know where Charter Hill is. It's in Westbrook area. So there's a Westbrook region. It's kind of like the high, mid-tier corporate zone. In the time of the Red, at least, there's the... I can't remember the name of the is it North Oak I think it's North Oak is the name of that's where like the high tier they don't live there now because in the time of the Red it's all full of it's a shanty town, like it's full of cancer. So in 2077 the video game, this is the newest area in the game, and this is where all the high tier guys live, and the high tier corporate guys, and the 1% basically, the richest people in Night City. So what I like to do is I like to point out a little region. So like Westbrook is our region for the campaign, for my buddies, and basically they can go to Japantown. There might be a special sort of event that happens on a certain calendar date. So this is another thing. There's a calendar system in the game. So I did say it's a week. It lasts, this one shot anyway, and the campaign's going to be a month. So in the week there's going to be like a to-do list. So they're going to be like, okay, you need to get your weekly shopping, right? So they would go to so there's the Oasis, the Continental Brands. This is a new Neocourt in Red. This is canon. So there'll be like a little Oasis shop you can go to and get your weekly shopping, blah, blah, blah. And then you can go meet up with your buddies. You spend your time however you wish, essentially. And is there anything else? So there's going to be a map. There's going to be a calendar system. There might be some events that say, hey, this day, this is happening. So there's an important sort of theme here, but there's a game that this is based on that I have played, not much of, but I played it. It's called Persona. So I don't know if anyone's played Persona, but that's kind of what we're basing the system of. And because they've got a calendar system and that, so you can sort of look into this, and this will be it's like, oh, okay, so this is kind of interesting because a lot of the mechanics are just borrowed from that game, to be honest, because I just like the game. But yeah, that's kind of my idea for the one shot. It's sort of it's very grounded. There's not going to be a lot of extreme stuff happening, or maybe there will be because it's going to be a one shot. And I like to think that these characters are not approaching the end of days, but they're sort of they're definitely not new to the dangers, right? They got a lot of skills, but there's going to be maybe a new threat happening, kind of deal. Maybe there's a gang that sort of picks on them, kind of deal. Who knows? But I've got a lot of ideas spinning. So, but that's my idea. So it's a license. You have to get food, whatever. I don't know if this excites you. I guess my other ideas would be we sort of borrow. So we could do that and borrow from the Jumpstart kit. There's a lot of quests in there, scream sheets that we could use. So I could just borrow those and we can do those. We can go for a more vanilla experience. Just don't do any of those mechanics. We just want to play, just do a quest, jump in. It really depends on you guys. If any of you guys have any ideas, obviously I'm the GM. I've got my ideas, but maybe you've got a better idea because I like to hear ideas essentially. So Steve, what are you thinking? Do you want to do? Are you liking this live sim? You want to do something different? Again, or is it just up to me? I like to hear ideas. So
yeah, it's pretty much up to yourself, really. I'm pretty easy on anything that you want to do. The only thing I would say is if you're thinking of running the apartment, the adventure that's in Red, I've both ran it and I've worked through that adventure so many times. Mm-hmm. That would be hard to run for me because I know too much about it. But if you wanted like any of the scream sheets, that could work, or your life sim idea, I'm pretty flexible.
Yeah, I've never actually run the apartment adventure, but I've never actually I've never actually used any of the screen sheets. I like making stuff up. So you've done the Jumpstart, and actually you are from Sirenscape, and I mentioned before that I love using because I know you have the Jumpstart, the apartment scenario. You've got the kit for that, and I do have that. But yeah, the apartment's a very good one, but I feel like it's a little bit too general. I feel like with your characters in particular, I don't think it would make sense. You got two nomads, so running the apartment, I don't know, it just doesn't sit right with me. But you've done it. That's good. That's good to hear because I like to make my own stuff up anyway. But but yeah, apartment scenario is it's got some characters in there that I find they're quite interesting. Again, haven't run it. I've only read the apartment adventure, but you're good with the life sim. So again, the life sim's compatible with if there's any scream sheets in there that you haven't done. I could just say, hey, one day this guy comes up to you. It's compatible. It's like a system, right? It's more a system than a it is a game, but it could be my own story. It could be scream sheets, whatever. But yeah, so Renegade. What's do you like this? Is this something that maybe
I
you
do.
need a bit of clarification or?
I actually hear me. Okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
I and actually, you just said that you can mix those things. Was what I was just going to say too. I like this life thing, and you can always mix something in it. So if you get the feeling it's going to get boring, you just put something in it and put a story behind it, and it all changes and becomes more interesting again.
Yeah, exactly. That's something that because this is a new thing that I'm excited about, and this is something I came up with 2 months ago. And we've tried it. Basically, my friends were the guinea pigs. So if you guys were going to play it, oh well, I've done this, we've tweaked this. So you're coming into like, oh, okay, this is nothing feels like it's out of place. But we've got this new system. So basically, I'll explain a little bit about how it works if you like this idea. And basically, you roll initiative for each day. So there'll be like a calendar date. You roll initiative, and whoever goes first, they take the first turn to do their day. Now, the problem with this is that, well, at least with my players right now, if you don't like sitting waiting for a guy's turn, and we've had this in my campaign before, so a guy would just be sitting there while someone takes their turn. Maybe they'll take 20 minutes to RP and stuff like that. That's kind of the issue with it. But the thing is, they're not all together yet. So you guys are together, and you might be doing stuff as a group. So in my game, my one shot currently, there'll be some guy does their turn, they go to work, but they won't be hanging out with their buddy, right? Their friends. They'll be hanging out with their co-workers. So they have to see this happening. Now, this is good because it's kind of like you're watching, I don't know, a movie or something. Like you're watching someone else do something, but you're not doing anything. Maybe you're sitting there planning what you want to do. That's the only issue I have seen with this. I've had no complaints about it so far. About, hey, I'm taking too long to wait for this guy. We want to do stuff together. That's going to happen eventually, at least for them. For you guys, you kind of already know each other. So this is not really going to be an issue, right? You might be hanging out with each other. So you might want to go to the club. You might want to go to Afterlife, which is the club, one of the biggest. It's like a fixers club. It's somewhere, I can't remember the exact location, but it's in Night City somewhere. So that's just an example. You guys can be hanging out together. This is exciting. You guys are together. There's maybe some booster gangs in there that is going to be a problem. But we're going to presume in this case, you're all going to be together doing a lot of things. So that's kind of what's going to happen. So you do your initiative, you do your turn, you work on something. And this is where the homebrew comes in. So I did say it's going to be a vanilla experience. Life Sim is not really going to be fully vanilla because I like to do increment points. So increment points is a 2020 system. You're going to be familiar if you've played it. So this is where I homebrew that. And if you do well in something, and maybe you're nearly there in terms of the points, I increase that skill by a point. So. But if you have cybernetics, it's much faster. Oh, so one of us is disconnected. Oh, he's coming back. Drake, come here. But yeah, that's the homebrew element. I'm not sure if we're gonna do that because it's again, it's homebrew, and you guys have got a lot of skills anyway. But yeah, so. That's kind of the gist of the one shot. You get to pick where you go. You're going to have a place to work. And if you're liking this, you just sort of DM me and I'll We'll organize what you do for work, and we've already established what you guys sort of do. We'll just like go over it again, and maybe you've got a salary, you got a commission. Maybe we work out how much you make, and our one shot. It might it might be like 4 days or something, because a day can be a long time depending on how much you RP. I'll organize how long it will take, and you're gonna see how many days, and it's a good way of tracking progress as well. So enough talking for me right now. So let's do Drakemere. What are you thinking on this life sim idea?
Yeah, that
for
would
now?
be fun. I'm quite open with what I play. I like to play my character, and it's I see it as we are the leads in this movie, and if that is doing your standard life, that is fun too, because there is so much that you can put into ordinary life, random events, mates. So that would be quite fun, I think.
Yeah, that sounds good, because I like how you mentioned random events, because I now in what I'm planning for in my campaign, and I have this in my one shot. There's going to be a day where something might happen, and you don't have any control over this. So you might be like, "Hey guys, we're going to go to I don't know, we're going to go to Afterlife, right, the club. But hang on a minute, on this day, there's a guy going to break into your house." Yeah, I mean, this guy Cyberpunk. You never know what's gonna happen. There could be a guy trying to break in your house. You don't have a lock on your door because you didn't buy that lock. You know what I mean? There's gonna be stuff like that. There's gonna be incentives that appear in the game. Again, it sounds kind of ambitious, but trust me, I've got a sort of way of how I work it out, and it's just the calendar system. It goes, okay, I'm doing this. How much is this gonna cost? Like, because this guy just broke in my house. I need to get this lock for my door now, right? But oh wait, I saw this lock at the shop earlier. So that's how it's going to kind of work. And that's what I'm excited about. This is the campaign. But yeah, you say random events, that's going to happen. And that's what makes it fresh, right? There's going to be something happening. It doesn't matter you're going somewhere. It doesn't matter you're doing. Sorry, say again?
No, I think that's just my phone buzzing. I've got a text message.
Oh, okay. But yes.
That is fun, because just think about me as a techer might have booby trapped my workshop, and I had a break in, and here is a body when I go to work.
Exactly. So that's what is exciting. You never know what's gonna happen. Someone from your past might creep up. Someone new, like that's the whole what keeps it fresh. But so. Dozer, so are you liking this idea? Are you confused about some things? I wouldn't mind clarifying some stuff, because you might maybe think, how's this gonna work? Like, but yeah, I've got the video, so you can watch what my buddies did. And but yeah, what do you think about this idea? You like it?
It sounds pretty interesting. Never did that before. Definitely gonna watch the video. And yeah, could definitely see that.
Yeah, I'll send it on the Discord. You can go have a watch of that. But yeah, so we got our kind of characters. I'm getting a good feel of the characters now and how they know each other. So, and we've discussed sort of what they do. So I'm thinking jobs, like what kind of jobs they're gonna do. So I would think right now, what job is he gonna do? Like, I kind of already know, but what specifically are they gonna be doing? Because maybe this will count for a role. So if you do a role for this job, maybe you fail that, and that's going to impact your salary. It could impact how much commission you get. That's kind of the whole how it works. So I've explained about my one shot. I've got a corporate guy. He sort of failed trying to sell some stock, and that's going to maybe bite him in the ass. So that's how it's going to work. And this is what I want to make into a campaign. Think of this as sort of the beta, I guess. Think of this as sort of before we get all the maps. I want to get all the maps for the core campaign. I'm going to place all this so you can all see it. You can see your contact list, who you've got. It's like, you look at your contact list. I want to call this guy up today. I've got free time, and maybe you're gonna go to a club. Maybe you're gonna do some work together. Who knows? But that's how it takes quite a bit of setting up for a game like this. So we're gonna limit maybe your contacts for now. Like everyone's gonna have a unique contact, only they can see that contact. So that's how we've done it. Everyone's gonna have like a vehicle maybe. So there'll be an asset list. So what we've done is one guy has only a bike, right? He only has like a bicycle. One guy might have a motorbike. Two guys might have two cars, right? So again, it's unbalanced because it's a life sim, and that's life, right? So that's how it all connects the dots. And someone, for example, someone's running out of food in our game. How's he gonna get food? Is he gonna rob some stores? Is his buddies gonna help him out? I don't know, and that's what makes it exciting. That's what keeps it fresh to me. So yeah, so it sounds like we're all good for this life sim thing. I would be excited to do it. We'll have a bit of homebrew, I think, for this. But the good news is you guys have got a lot of skills. I don't think you would need to increase your skills for increment points, so we won't homebrew that. But I like this idea of, money. So like the economy is gonna, so you might fail something and that's gonna impact your salary or whatever. So I like this idea of that the money is going to be a big thing, and it obviously already will be, but your skills maybe not so much. You're very skilled people, but in the camp skills, it's going to be money. There's going to be stuff you might learn from people, like hey, can you train me to use this gun? So like he'll tell you, it's just, and you would increment if you spend your time with that person. So it's just incrementing skills yet again, but you have to meet that person first. So you'll have social links in the game. Again, it's very inspired from Persona. And Persona, you can look into that if you wish, but I'm going to send you the video and you can have a look at it. And it's very lighthearted because it's very meta. And I've kept things meta. So, but for you guys, I don't really know you guys well enough. So it's like, I can only do what's based on your characters. But again, I encourage meta stuff like, if you're a German immigrant, and that makes it easy for you to RP, that's great. So that's pretty much everything. But if you have any questions, please ask, because I would like to go forward with this life sim. But if you have any questions, you can just ask me about how my character is going to work, for example. How is he going to work with his job or whatever? So if you have any questions, you can just ask me. Steve, any questions?
No. It all sounds pretty clear.
All right, cool. Renegade, does this sound good to you?
Up until now.
All right. Drakemere?
Yeah, it seems clear cut. Yeah, I just want to add, just talk without us outside the game if you want links or secrets or.
Yeah, I'll definitely give you
secrets so we can have past and so on pop in, because that's also fun.
That's something that I would love to include. And if you are really passionate about something, if you really want something to happen, just tell me, and I'm gonna make it my own thing. I'm not gonna. I'll do it like if you want a character to act a certain way, you tell me. And if you've got this really cool idea, you can let me know. I'm all about ideas. If you got a cool idea, I want to hear it. So if there's a character from your past, it's like, oh, this character might want to go for me, right? So that'll be hard to do if it's everyone doing that. But that's something, if everyone wants to do something like that, I will definitely try my best within how many days we've got. I'm going to limit the days so you can see how the system works. And because 3-4 days sounds good enough to me. That's enough for like that'll be like 2-3 sessions at least. So, and if you're like, okay, this is good, I want to continue with this kind of deal. So, but I like the idea of past things happening.
And I like to be open-ended, so with my stuff, so I can give the GM room to maneuver and build their own spin on it.
Yeah, that's again well appreciated. if you can manage that. But again, I love hearing your ideas. So if you've got something there, you maybe want to reread something, I'll do that. So yeah, it's exciting. So Dozer, you got any questions about anything? Anything you want to add?
No questions so far. Yeah, looking forward to what's coming up, and definitely gonna yeah, think about what could be happening at work. And
Yeah. Yeah, cool. So yeah, so I'll just give you the rundown. So we're all happy with this. So just think about your job, what you're going to be doing, and this will affect like sort of roles you do and how you make money. Let me know if this type of job you're working with someone. For a nomad, it's probably just going to be a commission thing, right? It's going to be your own thing, or maybe you work with a sort of client or something. So, or the tech maybe pays you, so he'll have to have a lot of cash on him, obviously. So he'll have to give you your salary. Maybe he can determine how much you get. Maybe he wasn't happy with how you did. See, this is interesting with the RP. There's maybe a bit of conflict there, or not. Maybe he likes you and he gives you more. So have a little think about that. Maybe you'll have discussions about how that's going to work. So, and what you'll be doing, what I will be doing is I'll probably send you a sort of mock-up map. It's not going to be very well done, but it's going to at least show you, because I want to get the official map, right? I want to get the kind of map. It'll be set in a specific location, I'd imagine. So, and there's going to be all the locations you can go to, and the ones that are unique to you and your contacts. So let me know your job, what you're going to be doing. Let me know. Crap! Because let me know who your contacts are, and that's pretty much it. Just job and contacts, and your assets. I'll have to do that myself, because it wouldn't be fair. Like, oh, I want this really cool car and stuff, but you'll be a nomad, so I'll give you a car, right? So I won't go too far with it. But yeah, just job and contacts. Have a think of that, and I'll send you the video, and you'll get a good idea how it works. You'll see everyone's assets, or you at least should be seeing everything. I've got the game set up. I can't let you join it, but you can see in the video like how I open stuff up. It's like, okay, he's got this type of contact. A cool thing with for example, the fixer role is that I've got a whole page dedicated to his contacts, so everyone can see. Oh, he's got all these contacts. He can he can hire a thug for like 50 eddies to do his dirty work for him. So, and when core comes out, if let's say you're a fixer, if you get, I think it's like level 7, 8 in 2020, and I hope they have this system, by the way. They get to call a murder for hire, right? They can get someone to murder someone. So in the core campaign, I plan on amping it up each level in red if they have the system like 2020 does, so that if you level up in your job or your role, your special ability, essentially, that's gonna let you do more stuff, right? That's gonna let you do if you're a fixer, murder for hire. I don't know what the other ones are. Nomads, I'm going to assume they can call more family members. It could be the kingpin of the family. Like, they could be the main guy, rise up the ranks kind of deal. So, again, this is just something that I have to see in red and have to analyze and make sure it all works. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much what I've got for the life sim. So we're all excited for the life sim. That's great. Just anyone at all want to add anything, or they're confused about anything, you can just let me know right now. Are we all good on what we're doing? And well, when are we going to do this next session? That depends on you guys. I think you need to give me a minimum of like 5 days, I think, to at least get the map. And it depends on what you tell me and what I can get set up, because I've already got ideas. So you just let me know what time is best for you, but I need 5 days to probably get it set up. But what days work for everyone? So we'll start with Steve. What day works for you? Let's say in a week's time we can play. What day is going to work for you?
So Mondays and Fridays I tend to struggle. I'm heading straight off to a meeting after this. But anything like Tuesday through to Thursday, I'm good. Same with the
Tuesday,
weekend.
Thursday. Okay, that sounds good with me. But you can do the weekend. You can
I
definitely
can
do
do the weekend as well. Yeah.
Do the weekend. Okay, weekend, very good for me. All right. Renegade, what is this good for you, or is there complications in the weekend?
Weekends are very good for me. I'm working in shifts, but if I have a weekend shift, I'm back at 5 o'clock. They're at 6. No, that's 4 o'clock your time, so should work.
Okay.
During the week, I've got a couple of rounds where I'm playing or GMing, so I'd have to check whether the dates are correct or are the same. But weekends are good for me.
All right, that's good. Drakemere, is weekends good for you? Are you in the German time, by the way?
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm a Swede, so we are. I'm southern Sweden. So
Oh, you're in
it's,
Sweden.
okay, then.
Right. So that's a
I
good
think-
time zone. Yeah.
The coming weekend is very hard for me.
Okay.
Most of the weekends should be good. Might be problems because I have tend to have the kids every other weekend.
Okay. I mean, yeah, we can always wait a little bit of time. I don't want to keep you guys waiting. It depends on how
But
patient you guys are.
otherwise, weekdays work really well most of the time because as a student, I am free most weekdays, nights, and so on.
Okay. Yeah, we can discuss. I assume those are you good with weekends as well. We could probably do next weekend then, or we can vote on a date kind of thing. I just want to get a general idea when we're free. So, because I don't know if it's going to be a consistent time because it's we got 4 players and we got me, so it's going to be kind of hard and because you know how these things are. It's going to be hard to organize, but if we can keep a strict timeline, that would be good. But again, it's 4 people. We've got lives, so. But yeah, those are you. Is this okay with you, or is it going to be a little tricky in the weekends?
Weekends are great. Weekdays, actually, too. Sunday evening is kind of hard, but every other time is fine.
All right. Okay. So I'm thinking Saturday, probably next Saturday, since you're going to be busy, Drakemere. Again, I'll probably have a vote thing on. We can sort of, I'll put a date on and see how we feel about it. We just vote on that. Yeah, that sounds good to me. So I think that just about wraps it up. So we're good, right? We're good. I mean, I'm gonna give you the video and because I don't think there's anything I can really add to that. It was a bit of a long. It was like an hour and a half. But yeah, I'm going to discuss with you stuff, and if you want to message me, that's fine. I'm going to be a little busy tonight, but just pop me a message anyway, and I'll get to that. So yeah, life sim. We got our characters done. Pretty much sorted. I'm going to read through those. I didn't have time to read through them, the backgrounds, but I'll have a read of those. Just one final thing. So Jumpstart, is everyone good with the Jumpstart? Has everyone sort of read the rules? I'm gonna have those up anyway. And if you haven't played it, I'm gonna have all those rules up, and we're gonna go through it. I had a new player, and he knew what to do in about 20 minutes. So it's not a hard game to learn, so don't worry about it. But for all, nodding it, I mean, we're gonna be fine. This is gonna be a exciting game. So yeah, that wraps it up for me. So this has been Cyberpunk Uncensored. I'm Teddy Bearns, also known as Ronan, my real name. And yeah, that wraps it up. So thank you for joining the session 0. It's gonna be a good game. We'll vote on the time when we can play, and yeah. So I'll see you guys later. Just pop me a message, sir. Bye, guys.
Right. See ya.
Okay, see ya.
Yeah.
See ya.
Bye bye.
Right. See you.
Bye.